For a long time, we Canadians have been a little too comfortable. We've watched the chaos in the US and the rise of dictators in Europe, like it was a movie happening to someone else. We told ourselves, that could never happen here. But I'm telling you right now, it is happening here. The Conservative Party of Canada isn't the party of your parents anymore. Under Pierre Poilievre, it has been hollowed out and refitted with a high-tech, mega-style engine that is designed to do one thing: divide us until we're too angry to notice who's actually holding the remote. Please don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel. It helps me to know your interests, and feel free to submit a question as well. We need to talk about the immigrant boogeyman. This is the oldest trick in the fascist handbook. It is being played around the world, and it's being played on us right now. When things get hard, when you can't pay your rent or find a doctor, the people in power give you two choices. They can fix the system, or they can give you someone to hate. Poilievre is choosing hate. By calling immigration a radical experiment and telling people to leave the hyphens at the door, he's sending a loud, clear signal. He's telling his base that the reason their lives are harder isn't because of corporate greed or bad policy. It's because of the other, the immigrants. This is how guys like Viktor Orban in Hungary, Trump in the US, and Netanyahu in Israel got their grip on power. They find a target, they label it a virus or a threat, and they use that fear to justify taking total control. It's a bait and switch. While Harper and Poilievre have you looking at the border or arguing about wokeism and warrior cultures, they are quietly handing the keys of our country over to a new circle of billionaire oligarchs. This is the Canada First scam. It isn't about putting you first. It's about putting the leaders first, while they spew the opposite. This is the IDU methodology. If you are not alarmed, then we as a country are in trouble. You should be alarmed by how much Poilievre sounds like a carbon copy of Donald Trump. From the way he bullies the media to his bizarre claims that Nazis were left-wing socialists, he is using the same disinformation playbook to scramble our brains. He wants us to live in a world where facts don't matter, and where common sense is just a code word for, do what I say. The line between CPC and Republican far-right has basically disappeared. They are sharing the same consultants, the same dark money tactics, and the same goal: to turn Canada into an illiberal fortress where the law only applies to the people the leader doesn't like. It's a fire, and we cannot afford to keep sleeping through the alarm. The Trump North movement is here, it's organized, and it's coming for everything that makes this country a democracy. Recently, political analysts, historians, and opposing politicians have frequently criticized the CPC under Poilievre for adopting tactics and rhetoric that they argue mirror global, national populist, and far-right movements, while Poilievre himself explicitly rejects these labels, often pointing to the National Socialist name of the Nazi Party, to argue that fascism is a left-wing socialist ideology. This is a lie, and we all know it. So let's look at Poilievre's rhetoric, which is straight out of the IDU handbook. Poilievre's Canada First rhetoric and attacks on gatekeepers are hallmarks of national populism, a direct twin of Trump's rhetoric, the parallel between Poilievre's use of Canada First and Trump's use of America First. There is no denying it is nationalism, and experts agree that it is speak used as a gateway to fascism and white supremacy. It is a deflection from substantive policy debate to focus on identity. When a politician focuses on identity such as warrior culture, wokeism, national pride, they are often intentionally moving the conversation away from substantive policy discussion to tap into your emotions of hate. Poilievre's vocal support for the 2022 trucker protests is often cited as a turning point. Academics have described the convoy as a manifestation of unchecked populism and the antithesis of representative democracy. Poilievre's embracing fringe elements has only one purpose: to bring them under the mainstream umbrella. Elements such as Diagolon or Rebel News are fringe. There is nothing mainstream about them. Poilievre has frequently posted on social media that Nazis were socialists, a claim that political scientists and notable historians like Heidi Torek argue is strategic to poison debate and distance the right from its own extremist fringes by upending historical terms. It is a targeted brainwash. Now let's get real. In simple terms, Pauliev spends his days acting like a regular guy who understands your struggles, while the CPC policies cater to the rich. The oligarchs running his party and funding his campaign are the exact elites he claims to hate. Former Conservative Prime Minister Stephen Harper, who still runs the CPC and chairs the International Democrat Union, has openly sought closer ties with Hungary's Viktor Orbán, as did the Republicans and Trump. Orbán's illiberal democracy, characterized by weakened courts and state media, is the blueprint for the oligarchic shift that the CPC, Republicans, and Netanyahu are navigating. While Pauliev uses pro-worker rhetoric, his actual policy leanings are deregulation and tax cuts for the wealthy. They favor corporate oligarchs over the working class. CPC will work to end social programs as Republicans are doing right now in the U.S., but socialism for the rich is and always will be alive and well with Republicans and CPC running the countries. The CPC has faced significant backlash for racism and dog whistle politics that cater to white nationalist or racist sentiments. Pauliev's woke war, or as he says, wokeism, claims that wokeism was actually invented to divide people and foment hate. Political scientists and historians know that Pauliev's claims are to trick common people using to silence discussions about systemic racism. In an interview with Jordan Peterson, Pauliev stated he wanted a common sense of identity and told immigrants to leave the hyphens at the door. This framing is a dog whistle that paints immigrant cultures as inherently problematic or conflicted or other or un-Canadian. This is a speak that Pauliev uses intentionally to inspire hate and cause divide, not hyperbole. In 2023, 3 CPC MPs met with Christine Anderson, a member of the German far-right AfD party. While Pauliev eventually condemned her views as vile, critics argued the initial meeting was part of a pattern of rubbing noses with the far right to appease a specific base. His eventual slow condemnation was another dog whistle to the far right, telling them he didn't want to condemn it, but he had to keep right-wing votes. Here are some key controversial quotes that I believe say it all. Pauliev on woke culture. We will rebuild our military, and our soldiers will once again have a warrior culture, not a woke culture. Pauliev on immigration to Jordan Peterson. Foreign conflicts are now spilling onto our streets. Leave the hyphens. We don't need to be a hyphenated society. Pauliev on Nazis. Woke left goes crazy when people point out the undeniable historical fact that National Socialists were, as the name says, socialists. Sound the alarms.